from what we've ever done before. Usually it's just drive somewhere, play people, like the comp's just totally different. I really think it's just body style. Like, he's less athletic.
I'm stronger.
So, did you know that there are a total of 5 sets of twins currently playing their trade in the NBA? Oh yes, you heard that right. See, just last year, the Thompson brothers joined the frenzy after making history as the first set of twins to both be selected in the top 5 of the same NBA drafts. And this year, we already have another set of twins making the rounds, even though they are not yet in the NBA. Well, folks, meet Cooper Flagg, the teenage sensation whose name is currently the rave of college basketball, and his identical twin, Ace Flagg. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You see, even though these rising ballers may be identical in looks, they seem to be 2 entirely different people on the court, and that's not even an expression. Cooper already needs no introduction at all. After all, he was a 5-star recruit, and by far, the best player in the class of 2024. Yeah, that's how good he is. Ace, on the other hand, seems to be living in the shadows of his phenomenal twin, and is even already a class behind. Oh, and don't get it twisted, the kid can also play. However, he doesn't tend to quite measure much to his brother, who is already one of the most talented teenagers in the country. So, want to know how the 2 youngsters still at the start of their careers already have a clear daylight between them? Well then, get ready for an epic ride into the life of the Flagg brothers to discover how it feels to constantly live in the shadows of your other half. But first, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any new updates. Ready? Now, let's get right into the action. Born on the 21st of December, 2006, in Newport, Maine, the Flagg twins had always had keen interests in the beautiful game, with talents that were noticeable from tender ages. Oh, and it didn't come as a surprise whatsoever, especially since their parents, Ralph and Kelly, both played college-level basketball in Maine. However, it was almost clear from the beginning that the twins had more than enough in the tank to give. As you'd expect, both brothers started out as similar talents on the court and even played side by side for most of their high school careers. The twins first attended Nokomis Regional High in Maine, but they only remained there for their freshman year before transferring to Montverde Academy.
I really think it's just body style. Like, he's less athletic.
I'm stronger.
Of course, the reason for this transfer centered around the fact that Montverde boasted a more advanced grassroots basketball setting, and it soon started to pay dividends in the twins, albeit not at the same level. Now, we can all admit that one question which usually pops up whenever twin athletes emerge is if it is possible for one to outclass the other, right? Well, the answer is pretty much obvious for this particular set, as one has quite clearly outclassed the other, both literally and figuratively. But is the gap really that evident, or is it the fans who are just making a huge deal of it? Well, as far as we can tell right now, the difference between both kids is not really exaggerated because, while both still exhibit some similar qualities, Cooper is currently playing at a way more advanced level than his brother. You could even say they are 2 sides of a coin, but even then, one side will have to significantly outshine the other. Oh yes, that's how the gap seems at the moment. Heck, people are already comparing their careers to Brooke and Robin of the Lopez twins because of the different paths that they are currently taking. But if you've ever seen Ace play, you can testify that he's got game and isn't nearly as bad as the comparisons make him look. Now that's got to get you wondering just how exceptional his brother is, right? Well here, let's paint a picture for you. Firstly, before Cooper Flagg made the leap to the NCAA back in June, he was widely referred to as the top prospect in high school basketball, which is super impressive, considering he was originally classified with the 2025 class. But tell you what, folks, even his ultimate high school rating doesn't tell the full tale of this brilliant youngster. You see, right from his solo year at Nokomis, Cooper has always been a bright spark, clinching the Nokomis Regional High Player of the Year award and becoming the first player in the school's history to do so. In freshman year, his 20.5 points average was superb and helped the school to the Class A championship finals, where he then put up a jaw-dropping 22 points and 16 rebounds to help his side clinch the trophy. At that point, it became as clear as day that this kid had potential, but even then, the young lad was only just getting warmed up, because if his time at Nokomis was impressive, then he really did knock the ball out of the park with his exploits in Montverde. At the end of his time with the school, he already had his cabinet filled with personal awards and recognition. From the Gatorade National Men's Athlete of the Year to the National High School Player of the Year, Cooper really does have a habit of outshining everyone everywhere he goes. And you know what? They are all well-deserved too, because you just can't watch the lad play and not appreciate the immense talent and maturity he displays. Now, this youngster's meteoric rise and the hype to match does trigger fond memories, and I wonder where we've seen this pattern before. Oh yes, it was back during the emergence of the current NBA Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. But hold on, folks. Before we all start to go berserk, it is true that there have been quite a handful of rising stars, being compared to the French sensation in the past year. But as far as those comparisons go, Cooper may well be the closest we've come to what we saw with Wemby and the next big thing to come out of the NCAA. I mean, this kid has hardly bounced a ball in the colors of the Blue Devils, with whom he has committed to play college basketball, and he's already the favorite to go first overall in the 2025 NBA drafts. Ladies and gentlemen, Cooper Flagg is him. And after a pretty much underwhelming 2024 NBA draft class, it will definitely be a refreshing change of pace to have a player with Cooper's hype and abilities on the list come 2025, if he does eventually declare.
Usually it's just drive somewhere, play people, like the comp's just totally different.
Cooper Flagg, tough shot.
It gives us something to look forward to work harder at, and this is what we strive for.
Ace Flagg, on the other hand, is still keeping to a regular pace and hasn't even transitioned to college basketball yet, which, of course, isn't as bad as it is made to sound. Standing at an impressive 6'7", the talented power forward seems to have what it takes to become an incredible scorer. He's already shooting 58.3% from the floor and 44% from behind the arc. These are good numbers that highlight his gradual progress and place him on the radar of scouts and colleges from around the country. However, the fact that his twin brother is already the topic of college basketball shows and potential NBA draft predictions just makes him that bit irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Not just that, but also the fact that people tend to expect way too much from him, considering the standards his brother is setting. His is a classic case of being a victim of another person's success, because people take one look at him and go, if you look like Cooper, you got to be able to play like Cooper. And that has pretty much turned him into the man in the shadows. For instance, his 11-point average and 6.9 rebounds per game are quite impressive, but not as impressive as Cooper's 16.5 points and 7.5 rebounds. Also, while Ace was winning the tournament MVP at the Zero Gravity Under-17 Finals, Cooper was busy being named USA's Mr. Basketball. Now, how's that for supremacy? Even off the court, Ace could barely match the popularity and fame of his brother, even if the two still appear to be inseparable. For example, his 17K Instagram followers aren't anywhere near Cooper's 530K, which further highlights the class difference between the Flagg brothers. Well, the truth is that Cooper Flagg has shown time and time again that he's really the best among his peers with the way he brutally dominates them on the court. He's already being classified as a generational talent, and you can easily see why the rave about this youngster keeps hitting new decibels. He's one of those players you take one look at, and just know they'll be tearing it up in the NBA in no time. And for Cooper, 2025 might just be the year. Not to take anything away from Ace and his achievements, though, but the Flagg twin comparison already ended, even before it started. I mean, while he'll be gearing up to make his NCAA debut next year, Cooper will most likely be going into the NBA drafts at the same time, and as the heavy favorite for the top pick nonetheless. But of course, the future doesn't look bleak for young Ace either. After all, he's still only 17, which means, if you think about it, he's actually going at the right pace. Moreover, the fact that early predictions see him going as a second-round pick in the 2026 or 2027 drafts means he's not too far from the NBA either. However, except he can pull an ace up his sleeves, pun intended, he may never be able to quite escape the large shadow cast on him by his superstar twin. Oh, and talking about youngsters being overshadowed by their mates, check out this video about the remarkable rookie that could ruin the LeBron father-son duo. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe icon for more exciting videos about your favorite NBA stars.